Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Christie with Reaching Better Alternatives, and I'm here to bring you a reading for the new moon in Cancer. And I am recording this at the exact moment of the Jupiter cazimi, which is essentially Jupiter conjunct the Sun, a moment of auspiciousness. When the cazimi happens, the Sun kind of empowers the planet. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, opportunity, good luck, manifestation, and abundance. And so at this moment in time, with the Sun cazimi Jupiter, we are getting like a facelift, a Jupiter facelift. So looking at where Jupiter exists in your chart, where Jupiter is landing in your chart at this exact moment can kind of help you to figure out where you are getting this much needed facelift of energy in your life. For me, Jupiter is in my second house right now of material wealth and abundance. So let's let the good times roll. So tomorrow we have the new moon in Cancer. So the new moon means that the moon is conjunct the Sun, so the moon will also be conjunct Jupiter at some point tomorrow as well. Not sure on the exact timing of that. So the moon is our emotions, our heart, our soul, and this new moon in Cancer is about revitalizing ourselves, coming back into alignment and coherence with our inner authenticity. Cancer rules over the fourth house of the home. It is our most, it's also our psyche, our deepest aspects of self. So this is an opportunity to refresh oneself, to set intentions around coming into alignment with the self. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And we are in the season of summer, right? So I love this time where we get to bring our inner self outward. We get to express ourselves outwardly, right? And we'll have a full moon in Capricorn in 2 weeks. So we'll be talking about that as well. So I'm so happy to be here with you all today. This is the first video I've recorded in many months. It has been a challenging year, and today I am feeling the abundance of energy, and I am hopping on the bandwagon. And as I was shuffling, the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles came out on the shuffle. And so the King of Pentacles is about richness, abundance, achieving goals, enjoying the accomplishments of the goals that you have achieved, right? So this is very much in alignment with the energy of the moment, right? We also have, let me just look at my chart here. What else do we have going on astrologically? Looking at Mars, where's Capricorn? Anything happening in Capricorn? No, not really. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I have a chart of the moment printed up, but I'm not going to tune into that too much right now. So we have the King of Pentacles kind of setting the stage for this new moon that's happening for us. I have several decks out, and we're just going to see what I'm drawn to pull in the moment and see what the messages that we need to remember for this new moon are going to be. Aha. So the archetype, interesting, is the Knight. This is the Caroline Myss deck of the archetypes. Loyalty, romance, chivalry, love of honor. The shadow attribute is allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle or romantic delusions. So this is, so the Knights are, we think about like historically what a knight represents, right? A knight is a person who pledges their honor, their loyalty to a higher cause. And they are willing to fight for that higher cause, right or wrong. And so the knight is about connecting to that higher cause, giving ourselves, pledging that, making a pledge of fealty, of loyalty, right? But we have to be careful that we are not pledging to a destructive ruler or cause, that we are pledging ourselves to a higher cause that is meant for the good of all, right? All for one, one for all, as, what was that from? The Three Musketeers, right? And so when we pledge ourselves to this higher cause, we have the Knight of Pentacles on the table, and now we have the Knight. The higher cause, for me, on a personal level, my higher cause is, my mantra is, when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. When we are working to heal ourselves, working to heal our wounding that's been impressed upon us by life, by society, by our loved ones, by ourselves, when we can work to heal that wounding, we bring higher energy to the world, and that allows the world to heal, right? Like begets like. And so if we move through the world like the wounded animal, we just create more pain, right? Hurt people hurt people. And so when we can focus on healing ourselves, loving ourselves, we set the example, we give people permission around us to do the same, to love themselves, to heal themselves. And when we heal ourselves, we're no longer hurting ourselves or other people, right? And so this Knight of Pentacles is a good reminder that we are all deserving of abundance. Right now, there are societal paradigms in place that prevent us from accessing the abundance that we all deserve. But I feel like this is a reminder to ourselves that abundance can come in many shapes and forms. We get to determine what that abundance looks like. And we should never apologize for going after what our own personal brand of abundance looks like. What is your higher cause that you are pledging yourself to? What does that look like, right? Not just doing it because everybody else is heading the same way, but instead choosing the path that best suits you. Yeah, that feels really good. All right, so let's shuffle a couple more times. Actually, let's pull a Moonology Messages Oracle card for the new moon in Cancer. And then I'm going to pull a Star Codes Astral Oracle to kind of see what area of life this is highlighting. Even though it's going to show up differently in everybody's personal chart, right? If you're watching this collective reading, there is a message in here for you to focus on. You are drawn to this reading for a reason, and trust that reason. I also invite you I give you, how do I want to word this? I don't want to say give permission. Yeah, I invite you to hear my words and allow my words to bring up your inner truth to the surface, right? My words should trigger your own inner truth. Your own inner truth should merit more weight than my own words. Use my words as a guiding force towards discovering your inner truth for yourself. Exalted moon. Ooh, exalted moon. Self-regulation. The moon is exalted in Taurus, I believe it is, which is why we have the bull on here. So let's read from the guidebook what the message is. Woo. Taurus is about self-regulation. It is rules over the second house. Is there anything happening in Taurus right now? Yes, actually. Looks like Venus is still in Taurus right now. And Uranus is in the final degree of Taurus before it shifts into Gemini in the next couple days. So I'll have to do a reading for that as well. So Venus in Taurus is really beautiful energy. Venus rules over Taurus. It is so it's at home here. It's It's one of the 2 signs that it rules over. So we are called to, I'm looking at I forgot my alphabet. We are being called to pay attention to our physical surroundings, how we can bring joy to our physical surroundings, organization. Self-regulation. In the situation you're asking about, your superpowers that you can regulate your emotions. It does not mean suppress them. It means you can feel all your feelings and process them and let them move through you. You can just be. This gives you power. As within, so without. So basically, additional meanings: keep your feet on the ground. What would nourish me? Allow someone else to express their emotions. Slow and steady wins the race. So with this energy of the new moon in Cancer, we are feeling... Cancer is a very emotional sign, but with this new moon, there's a lot of really grounded energy around this new moon. We have Chiron in Aries right now. Don't mind me as I mutter to myself here. We're kind of creating a new transparency around our emotions. We're giving ourselves permission to feel our emotions. And when we can feel our emotions from a place of love instead of shame, it allows us to process them, move through them, instead of allowing them to control us. And from this place, we can better self-regulate. And from that place of self-regulation, we can make better decisions that lead us to abundance. We can choose better which decisions we need to make, which causes we need to ascribe to. So I really love that energy. I think that's really powerful energy. I'm going to pull 3 more tarot cards, and then I'm going to end with I want to pull the star codes. And this video will not be edited. I'm just going to put it out as is. I'm only doing 1 take. Usually I get kind of nervous and I'll redo it 2 or 3 times. But today I'm just going to let it be messy and celebrate that I took this opportunity to record and allow these messages to come to the surface. And it's my intention that this message reaches far and wide to deepen the ripple effect of healing that is so desperately needed at this point in time in the world. Okay, so we have the 4 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Wheel of Fortune. So we're being called to rest. We are being called to tune into the state of rest, to tune into, to cut out the noise. Cut out the noise. We are so often overstimulated and distracted by the noise in the world. And right now we need to kind of just tune out the noise of the world and focus on the messages from within. Focus on just the messages. Knight of Pentacles reversed is about taking... Knight of Pentacles in general is slow, steady action, taking a plan. Maybe we're feeling like we don't have a plan. We're kind of going about things willy-nilly. And so, excuse me, the 4 of Swords is telling us to rest so that we're able to create that plan, right? Without the rest, we won't be able to self-regulate. We won't be able to create the plan that we need to make to move forward in the most aligned way. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. When we allow ourselves to rest, when we allow ourselves to ground, when we allow ourselves to create the plan, when we allow ourselves to face the fear that comes up as a result of trying to make the plan or create goals, everything is ours for the taking. I'm going to read from the guidebook about the symbolism on this card, because I don't remember It's not saying in the guidebook what the being is. I know they pull from a lot of Egyptian symbolism. I guess it's the Sphinx, right? Half lion, half human. She is the Sphinx. And we see all of the elements. We see rain, wind, fire, the mountain, the snake from the tree of life, right? And she's holding the sword. So there's some probably deeper symbolism here that I'm not really tuning into because I don't know Egyptian mythology well enough. This is from the This Might Hurt tarot deck. So there's going to be some hard decisions that need to be made, right? Each of the elements are represented here, but I'm paying attention to the sword. Like, she's ready, again, to cut out the noise, gain clarity, focus on what's really important here. There's a lot of temptation being offered us, and from that temptation, a decision needs to be made. And so we have to cut out the noise. We have to focus on, is this temptation really what we need in this moment, right? Sometimes we need to say yes to the temptation, and sometimes we need to say no to the temptation. But we'll only be able to ascertain for ourselves what decision we need to make once we rest, cut out the noise. And again, we have this Knight of Pentacles. It's reversed. Like, our decision making is a little jumbled right now. We need to take some time to gain some clarity. We have the Knight out as the archetype and the Knight of Pentacles. So we're not fully aligned. We still haven't chosen which cause to align to, where we are pledging our loyalty to. And again, I'm really drawn to this Four of Swords. It's really, and this message keeps coming up over and over for me on a very personal level. And I think, I think back to when COVID happened. It felt like, the world needed a pause, a reset, right? And then now that things have kind of opened up, people feel like they're trying to make up for lost time. And yes, we did lose time, but we forgot the lesson that, like, one of my favorite quotes is, there's no such thing as time wasted as long as it is time enjoyed. And I'm kind of butchering it right now. But the idea is, we don't need to make up for lost time. We need to rest. We need to nourish. We need to slow down. We need to cut out the noise. There's so much happening. There's so many people creating and doing things, which is really beautiful. And now that we have technology, we're able to be and do and see all these things all over the world. It's distracting us from ourselves. It's distracting us from our immediate environment. The people around us, the people closest to us, are the people we should be focusing on the most. We need to rest. We need to cut out the noise. We need to let go of the need for instant gratification, right? Before technology, people stared at the clouds for entertainment. I read something that people experience more stimulation in a week in this modern day and age than people did 200 years ago their entire life, right? So when we're constantly stimulated, we're not resting, we're not allowing ourselves to come to center, we're not allowing ourselves to focus on ourselves, our alignment, our values, and make decisions from a good, grounded place, right? We're not staying emotionally regulated. So being sure to find the time to rest, to come to center, to make sure that we are making the best decision on how to move forward in the best way possible. All right, so our final card for the day. I'm not feeling called to pull anything. Oh my goodness. Detach from drama, from Pallas Athena. We're just going to let it be messy. Detach from drama. It's the only card I pulled before I started the reading. Detach from drama, right? Again, she's holding that sword. Cut out the noise. Okay. I'm just going to cut the deck. And what is the area of life we need to focus on? Mercury, messages, listening to the messages that are here for us. Mercury is the planet of communication. We will be entering Mercury retrograde, I believe, within the next several days. I don't know at the moment. Messages. When we can become quiet, when we can become still, we can receive the messages from within. We can receive messages from spirit. But if we're constantly distracted and we don't cut out the noise, we can't hear the messages that are truly meant for us. So allow ourselves to become quiet, silent, come to center. Listen from that place. Again, Cancer is about the home and family, but it's also those deep, like each of the water signs have to do with our psychology. And Cancer is really about coming into alignment with the psychology of your heart, what really moves you, what pulls you in life, what is your greatest motivation. From that place, when we determine our greatest motivation, we can determine the cause that we are most in alignment to dedicate ourselves to moving through in this world with. And from that place, we have the King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. Very good cards, but we need to rest. We need to cut out the noise. We need to come back to center, come to that place of peace and inner knowing, and allow that to be the basis for which we make our decisions and how we move forward in this world. So I hope this reading resonated. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit the like button. If you would like to stay in touch, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to be a little more consistent with my readings. It was a pleasure to be here with you today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Namaste, my friends.